You should not be working alone. The idea is that you should not be working alone. The idea is that your whole family, whoever it is around you, who has a tendency to ask you for money, then that person should be working with you instead of you just giving them money. So one of my friends, I just had a couple of people, just a couple of incidents. One of them was I just now was just talking to a young man, just taking me a walk before we got started today. And by the way, we're about to start day 2 of our financial IQ challenge. It's not too late for you to come if you would like to come. Just put challenge in the chat. If you get the link, feel free to come on over. So today I'm gonna be teaching ecosystems, and I'm gonna teach my ecosystem. I'm gonna show how we scaled our business from $100,000 to $12 million. So I'm gonna show you how we scaled our business and how we scaled it here online, and how my whole family works for me. That's part of what we're going to be teaching today in class, but I want to give you a little preview of what we're going to be going over. And if you decide you want to come, just put challenge in the chat, come on out, and I'll be glad to have you. So I was just talking to this young man. He was talking about his business. He said he did pretty good, did a couple of $100,000 for the last 2 years. And he said, but the name of his company is Solo. I said, yeah. He said, I actually do everything solo. I said, well, that's not a good idea. I said, the little money you've made compared to the money you would make, you would 10x that money. Whatever you made, if you made a couple of 100,000, you can easily turn a couple of 100,000 into a couple of million if you if you would scale what you're doing. All right. So everybody put scale in the chat real quick, because most of us, we just been taught to do everything by ourselves. So that's a serious problem, because we think, and the reason that we think this is because we're thinking, I want to do it. I want to make sure it gets done right. Okay. If you've ever had that problem, put on one in the chat. Good morning. How you doing? If you've ever had the problem that you pass something on to somebody else and they just didn't do it right and it embarrassed you, put a one in the chat. So you started doing it yourself. That's happened to me before. So I'm gonna put a one in there too. I said, have you ever tried to do something and you pass it on to the next person and they just didn't do it right? So you're embarrassed now. Now you're frustrated. Now you're like, man, if I had done that, that would have been done correctly. They wasted my time. They wasted my energy. They messing up the customers. Have you ever felt that way? Okay, well, country people who try to run businesses, they think they're the last of the Mohegans. All right, so when they get ready to do something, they don't do it as a system. They do it as an individual, and that's why people ain't got no money. It ain't enough hours in a day for me and you to be trying to do something as an individual. All right. So let's talk about scaling your family business. All right. So here are 4 things you need in a business. You need somebody to pay your finances, number one. Okay. So number one, finances. You say, Ricky, I pay my own bills. Well, if finances is what you do, then good, pay your own bills. But if it's not, don't do it. So put finances as number one in the chat. Number one, finances. So I don't pay my bills. Shantae pays them. You say, why is that? You say, because she's more suited. She loves budgeting. It's all in her blood. She got coupons for everything. Anything she can do to save some money. You say, but you don't need to save no money, Brother Ricky, because you're rich. No, you don't understand that. I remember I was talking to this cat when I had a beeper store. And the cat was like, I told him it was $10 to pay his. He said, how old are you, Mr. Rick? Old enough to have had a beeper store. This was way back in like 95. Had a beeper store. We had cell phones when nobody had a phone. I used to be able to program your phone, and you just walk down the street, start talking on your phone. That was a big deal because nobody had a phone. Nobody had no cell phone, no just portable cellular phone. They had bag phones and car phones. So you young folks really don't know what I'm talking about. But so I got pretty much a photographic memory, so I can program anybody's phone almost from memory. So they just be standing there for a few minutes, then they walk down the street talking on their phone, and they was kicking their heels together. They was really excited. Indeed, I've always done things before everybody else do it. That's why I keep telling y'all what to do before everybody else does it. Now you do it make the most sense to you, but I don't like competition. Like, listen to me. I only do businesses that don't have no competition. If it's got competition, I'm not going to do it. Why? Because I don't want to waste my time. I don't like selling stuff. I don't like trying to convince nobody to do nothing. It's a boring life. I hear me just do stuff that the person would be crazy not to do it. All right. And anyone, you don't need to be bothered with no crazy folk. No way. Do something that only a crazy person would get up off of the counter and you giving them open heart surgery. And they would. And they get up and run down the street before you finish, sewing their heart back up. Only a crazy person would do that. So I only do businesses that you got to be crazy to ignore. All right, like getting your money back from the bank. You don't want your money back from the bank, you gotta be a little crazy. All right, so I don't do businesses where you gotta persuade some, like try to, do. I was selling phones when everybody and their mama wanted a phone. So I was programming these phones, and I was, we was doing what we was doing. And so this one guy comes up and he says, so I told him it's $10 for his beeper bill. So then I told him it was $11 for, a dollar worth of tax. So he said, man, I thought you said $10, Brother Rick. So I looked over the counter. I said, your shoes tied up? He was like, huh? I said, I know you ain't tripping over no dollar. So he started laughing. He said, you got me with that, Brother Rick. You got me right there. You got me right there. I was like, why? Because there is no amount of money that you don't count in the business. Are you hearing me? Every dollar got to be accounted for. Are you hear what I'm talking about? Or else you're gonna go out of business. Don't make no difference how much you make, it's how much you keep. Okay. And how much you can invest and deploy and put back into your business and back into the marketplace so that you can get more customers and make more money. So I don't pay no bills because I'm not cut out for that. First of all, I don't even like looking at them. Why? Not that I'm depressed and nothing like that, because all the bills are paid ahead of time anyway, because all our creativity pay all the bills. So I'm not worried about that. I'm just talking about, I don't want that slowing me down. I hear what I'm talking about? Everybody put don't slow down in the chat. Okay. Good morning, Rebecca. How you doing, dear? Everybody put don't slow down in the chat. See, y'all be slowing down because y'all be doing other people's work. And I'm showing you how to have an ecosystem. All right. An ecosystem. Put don't slow down in the chat. He said, call me about beeper. That's funny. So don't slow down. He said, what are you talking about, Brother Ricky? I'm exactly what I said. I don't slow down in business to be doing what everybody else in the business does. So number one, somebody got to pay your finances. Number two, somebody got to be in charge of operations. Okay. So in this case, Shantae wears two hats because she's in charge of operations. So what do you mean by that? The standard operating procedures and sending out the administrative paperwork to make sure that everybody understands the contracts that they sign and all that. Shantae does that. You say, because she has most of our bills paid automatically anyway, so that doesn't take up a whole lot of her time. She uses software to pay bills. All right, everything is just drafted here and drafted out of this and drafted out of that and drafted out of this and sent to this place and sent it. It's just automatically set up, so it doesn't take a whole lot of her time to do that. But it didn't take none of my time. Are you hearing me? I spend 100% of my time on what it is that I do, and that's teaching you, and meeting people, and introducing people to what it is that we do, but mostly teaching, because I'm a very, very, very good teacher. But the only reason I'm a very, very, very good teacher is because we have an ecosystem, and everybody's extremely important. There are no little I's and big U's. Everybody is extremely important because you won't have no health and no strength and be able to do nothing if you're the one that's trying to do everything by yourself, and it's unnecessary. Plus, it doesn't work. So I don't know how much money you're making currently, but if you're listening to me today and you develop an ecosystem, particularly a family ecosystem, you can make a lot of money. I'm straight from the hood, from the projects, no money, no nothing, homeless. Are you hearing me? And we went from being homeless to being able to earn close to about $12 million now, just over the last few years. But it wasn't me. It wasn't me by myself. I hear what I'm talking about. Why? Because there's some stuff I just don't want to be bothered with it. And they do it better. So you need two people. You need somebody to do finances. You need somebody over operations. Then number three, you want somebody over sales and marketing. So I have a gentleman named Max, and he does all of our ads and stuff. I don't run no ads. All right. I create the videos because I'm good at creating stuff. So I don't want nobody creating no little buster videos for me. I wouldn't hire one single person in the world to do videos because they can't do them better than I do. I hear what I'm talking about. Why? I took a class on how to do that to make sure I was doing that stuff right. So I'm not worried. Some stuff you do yourself. All right. If you're the best at it. All right. Everybody put the best in the chat. Okay. You only do it if you're the best. If you're the best at it, then you do it. But if you're not the best at it, you let somebody else do it. Everybody put the best in the chat. Hold on a second. I got to get a rag. All right. So let's do some review. Okay. Yeah. If you're not the best, Michelle, don't do it. All right. Andre, if you ain't the best, don't do it. All right. Cole, Dean, if you ain't the best, don't do it. All right. I hear me. Alfonso, if you're not the best, don't do it. Only doing your business what you're the best at. I'm talking about ecosystems. Okay. If you ain't the best at it, warrior woman, give it up. Ladybug, give it up. All right. World Savage, give it up. Okay. You say, how can you learn? You can still come to the challenge today. Just put challenge in the chat. Or better than that, just go to rickthewealthcoach.com, rickthewealthcoach.com, because I'm going to teach this in a challenge today. I'm going to teach y'all the challenge today. I'm going to show my stats and everything, how we make all this money online. And we came from out of nowhere, from out of obscurity. My mother didn't have any money. My father didn't. Shantae mama didn't have no money. Her father didn't. You know what I mean? Grandparents. No, nobody in the history of our family ever made $1 million, legit. Like here I'm talking about. We got some hustlers in the family, but ain't nobody ever made no legitimate $1 million in the history of our family. So we just decided we're going to change that. We decided we're going to work together. Yeah, family arguments, families, scrabbles, you dig, conflict sometime. But that's okay. That's okay. Just listen. If you're gonna fight, at least get rich and fight. All right. Don't make no sense to me having no poor fights. Everybody put RF in the chat. If we're gonna fight, let's have some rich fights, okay? Everybody put RF in the chat. I ain't got no church. Where y'all at? I said, y'all know y'all be fighting some. Everybody argue. All right. Everybody. Ain't nobody around here that don't never argue. Ain't never got no disagreements. That ain't gonna happen. All right. Just stop having them poor fights, okay? You ready to have some rich fights, Cole? You ready to have some rich fights? Come on, Kendra. If we're gonna be fighting, let's have some rich fights. I said, I said, girl. One more time. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. You want to box? All right. So you want to box? All right. Take that. Oh no. You take that. No. You take that. we gonna be fighting. At least make it a rich fight. All right. At least smack each other with some $100 bills. I hear I'm talking about. Everybody got problems. I hear me. So one of my friends, in fact, my daughter, my youngest daughter, her mother, we're very good friends. And she said, so how's it, Ricky? She says, you know how everybody say more money, more problems? I say, yeah, all broke people say that. No, more money, more problems. I'm like, I had way more problems when I didn't have no money. I hear me. Why? Because the Bible say money answereth all things. So I said, I don't agree with that. I said, what the problem with people is that they try to get rich in a greedy kind of way. They be trying to hoard on to everything, and they want to make all the money by themselves, and they don't want to include nobody in what they're doing. And that's why they have so many problems: heart issues, high blood pressure, sugar diabetes, one eyeball, left nipple fell off their breast. You know what I'm saying? They ain't working with nobody. I'm talking about an ecosystem today. And if you want, and if you want, and if you want to, I got a bit. All I do is laugh, probably 95% of the day. Laugh and joke with my friends. Not foolishness, just joy. Why? Because I don't do much. People saying, hey coach, can I get a few minutes with you? I know you're busy. I'm like, I'm not busy. They're like, you're not? I'm like, no. I said, no, I'm not busy. And I said, if I'm talking to you, it's because I just want to talk to you. All right. Because I charge $50,000 an hour, so people leave me alone. I don't, I'm not going to die based on running around chasing the money. And I'm teaching y'all that that's not how money is made anyway. All right. Everybody talking about all that hustling stuff. I'm a hustler, baby. I am not a hustler. I was a hustler when I was, 14, but I'm 64. Don't you learn something in 50 years? Everybody put 50 years in the chat. Oh, y'all that's old like me. Everybody put 50 years. Ain't you learned nothing? Everybody put 50 years in. 50 years mean ain't you learned something? That's what I'm talking about. Put 50 years. Put 50 years in that chat. If you done learned what? That hustling don't get you nowhere. All right, hearing me? I said put 50 years in that chat. Come on, Alfonso got some sense. You know that stuff don't work. All right. Are you listening to me? You got some Jay. Hey, you got some sense, don't you, Jay? Tim, you got some sense, don't you? Yeah. O'Neill, yeah. You got some Janice. Yeah, you got some sense. We got some grown folks up in here. Veronica, you got some sense too. That's right. That's conscious. Yeah, you got some sense. The W, yeah. 50 years, baby. 50 years done taught. 50 years teach you some sense, and that's that hustling stuff don't work. What works is scaling, and what works is an ecosystem. So today in the challenge, I'm going to teach our online ecosystem, and I'm going to teach the 4 levels of communication. That's what I'm about to do today, so that you all will learn how to communicate. Because come on, the way y'all be doing things, y'all working way too hard for way too little. Why? Because you don't know how to get other people involved. And I'm going to teach you today how to get other people involved. So Shantae pays my bills. Shantice helps onboard the customers with customer service. Shantae helps with that too. Then the operating system. Shantae and I, we kind of share that. Okay. So you need an operating system, somebody in charge of finances. Then you need somebody that's in charge of sales and marketing. All right. Sales and marketing. Everybody put S&M in the chat. Sales and marketing, S&M. Everybody put S&M in the chat. Okay. I'm just teaching you how to do an ecosystem. All right. And I'm showing you how you can make millions of dollars from your house without ever, I ain't got no office. I don't even want an office. They say, Brother Ricky, if he did those reels in an office someplace, it'd be a lot more polished. I'm like, man, you go polish your ring. All right. I made millions of dollars. I don't need your advice. Okay. You can take some advice from me if you ain't making at least $1 million. You dig what I'm saying? I'm not trying to impress nobody. I don't care what nobody think. We deliver substance. I hear me. You go do the stuff I'm telling you, you'll make millions. All right. It worked for everybody. I teach Bible principles. Okay. You just go do the principle. The principle was working way before you was alive. I hear it don't need your help. I hear me. So I would stop giving out advice and I would start following some until I get to at least my first million. It's amazing how many broke folks want to tell people what to do. So you don't need no office. I mean, your crib, wherever you live at, all right, or wherever you happen to be that particular day, that's your office, all right. And then you what? And then you have your Zoom meetings with your colleagues. We have Zoom meetings where we meet a few times a week to discuss what's going on. I hear me. We don't hardly ever meet in person. Like, listen to me. Nobody works for me, works by the hour. They just work. It's just they work by the production. It's production work. Everybody put PW in the chat. PW. Nobody works. Shantae don't work by the hour. Shantice don't work by the hour. Ricky don't work by the hour. Why? Ricky edited all my videos. My son, Ricky, he edited all my videos. Our videos got millions and millions and millions of views. I ain't never edited a video. Why? Because I don't know how to edit a video. You say, you don't know how to edit a video? Well, no, and I don't want to know. I don't even care. I don't know, and I don't even want to know. I get Ricky something to do. But Ricky was working at Federal Express, working 60 hours a week. I paid Ricky what he was making at Federal Express to work a couple hours a day. Excuse me. Are you hearing me? I don't want my son working 8 hours a day. I don't want him working 8 hours a day on no slave job. I'm like, let's all work together. Okay. Are y'all hearing me? And then people get paid for the what? Productivity work. That's how you pay people. Productivity pay. Not by the hour. As long as you get the job done, you can chill out and do whatever you want to do for the rest of the day. I ain't tripping on that. I'm teaching my family a whole different culture because we work with what? A whole different system. All right, I got to go. I'm about to teach this today in a challenge if you're interested. The last thing that you want is you need somebody that's a key person of influence. That's the role that I play in our business. Somebody who is the face of whatever it is that you do. All right. Those are the 4 people that help you to create an ecosystem. If I was you, I would look around me and I would tell my kids, you cannot borrow no money unless you want to work. I would tell my friends, you can't borrow no money unless you want to work. I would tell everybody around me begging me that you ain't nothing happening, play. Why? Because you're just tricking off your time. And I'm not going to spend my time making money and you spend your time tricking it off, watching TV and scrolling and gossiping or whatever the hell you're doing. And then calling me like some type of pimp, expect me just to drop it like it's hot. And then I give you something to do and you're lazy but don't want to do it. All right. That's why I don't have no stress. When my daughter's mother asked me that, she said, more money, more problems. I said, no, I got way less problems than I had because I'm very direct with people. And I don't have the pressure on me of dealing with bums trying to pop me off. I'm like, ain't nothing happening, play. I work just like I work for mine. You're going to work for yours. I hire you. You can come over here and do something. I'll show you how to make way more money than you currently making. I'm talking about all my family members. I'm like, anybody want to come on board? Come on. And I'll show you how to make way more money than you're making. Other than that, back up off me and smell the coffee. I do things for my kids. I ain't saying just be mean, but I'm talking about if somebody had a perpetual problem, or just got a casual relationship, you don't never see them, and then they just pop up every few minutes and they want some money and stuff, put them to work. Say, okay, come into the ecosystem that we have. It's a well-oiled machine. Look, I'm already late. Class is about to start right now. If you want to come, go to rickthewealthcoach.com or just put challenge in the chat. You can still come right now. I'm going to move over right now. And you won't be seeing me this week online because I'm going to be teaching the challenges. This is challenge number 53. The tickets are anywhere from $97 to $597. Just buy the ticket and make the most sense to you. And come on over if you want to learn what's going on today. because you don't want to miss this. Today is going to be great. I'm going to break the whole ecosystem down. It'd be worth coming today if you didn't even see me the rest of the week. Y'all be blessed in the city. Y'all be blessed in the field. I love y'all. Ain't nothing you can do about that. And remember that stellar is a stellar dust. I see you all in the challenge. That's in the challenge. I see you right now.